Welcome to the Whispering Soul. My name is Nancy Vellante, and I am an intuitive astrologer and certified wellness coach. My intention is to create a space for reflection, for grounding, and for remembering the quiet wisdom that lives within each of us. A place where we explore the rhythms of nature, the movement of the cosmos inside and out, and how these energies mirror the journey of our lives. So today, I want to talk about the space in between us. There's a space that exists between who we are and how we meet each other, between what we feel and what we say out loud. This is a space of reflection, honesty, quiet revelation, where relationships become mirrors and balance begins within. And this takes us to the full moon in Libra, April 1st or April 2nd, wherever you are in the world. For me, in the Northeast in the United States, April 1st, 10:12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And before we begin, let's take a moment to feel that space between us, between you. And what I've learned over the years I used to think the space is between the exhale and inhale. But as I've explored, through different bodies, different body modalities, as a dancer, as a theater artist, as a yoga teacher, I've learned that space can be in the inhale, in the exhale, or in between. And the journey of that is to listen to the body, which gives us a lot of information where we are emotionally, spiritually, physically, and mentally. So the space in between us, in between you, which will correlate, as you'll see, with this full moon in Libra. Libra is about balance. Libra is about I, you, the other, relationship, giving and receiving, understanding the collaboration, and how Libra wants to create a space in between that is meaningful, has justice, and is fair-minded. So let's explore that. But first, let's just meet here together with our breath. Wherever you're sitting, lying, wherever that is, you're feeling either your back or your body on the floor, your feet on the floor. Just feel the body parts that are touching the floor. That gives feedback to the nervous system, telling them you're safe, you're connected, and you're aligned. So let's take a breath in through the nostrils. Exhale through your mouth, gently open. Feel that breath go all the way down through the body into your feet. Let's take two more just like that. Inhale. Opening the mouth gently. Exhale. And last time, inhale. And exhale. As we pause there for a moment, feeling where the space in between might be landing for you today. And I have to be honest. Usually I have a harder time with the exhale, letting go, probably releasing. But today, and I kid you not, today my exhale felt more buoyant, a little bit more full. And that makes me happy. That makes me like, oh, okay, I'm going to lean into that today, into that space of exhaling and then looking into what this full moon in Libra has to offer me. I myself have a moon in Libra. So this moon in Libra, I'm sorry, I don't know the degree right off the top of my head, but will be I will be exploring this. That's for sure. So anyways, let's begin. Let's begin with a moment where something arrives, clarity, where everything feels suspended, like breath held between truth and the story we've been telling ourselves. And we all tell ourselves a story. This full moon in Libra is that moment. Illumination doesn't ask politely. It reveals something to be respected, something to acknowledge. It's with us every month. It pulls the curtain back on the subtle negotiations that Libra likes and what we've been making in the name of love, in the name of peace, in the name of keeping things balanced. But balanced at what cost? This is Libra. Libra is the scales, the sacred in between where we find that balance. It's like a seesaw, right? That place in the middle of the board where that space, it's either like, if like you're on a teeter-totter with somebody and somebody happens to get off really quick, oh boy, you're going to go flying. And maybe that's a memory of when you were a child. So that space in between the middle of those 2 points is sacred. It holds a lot of medicine, so to speak. I love that word because medicine can be a good thing, right? It can develop consciousness. It can develop health, and that comes from wellness. It can develop what our goals are on a day-to-day basis. The place where self meets other. Now here is where we are looking at the axis or the polarity point that all of the archetypes, the zodiacs have. Now, we in this full moon, 5 days before, 5 days after, are going to be dealing with the relationship axis. Polarity points, Aries and Libra. And we have a lot of planets in Aries right now, and we're in Aries season. So Aries is the self, where we individuate on a all the time, right? And in different cycles, how we change our identity, how we grow, how we manage our motivation, our impulses. And how do we manage that with the other, Libra, which is right on the other end, on that axis of relationships? It's an angular axis. So to me, in my perspective, it's the axis of awareness. Awareness of how do we mirror with each other? Like yourself is mirroring the Libra aspect of others. Well, what do I need to bring in the relationships for me to grow and to be more of myself? What does Libra need to become more of a grounded person that is not always wanting to give and not receive, always wanting to please and not just be in that space in between of that's you and this is me and let's come together in a collaboration. This is where I reaches toward we. And across the sky, yep, Aries stands like I've just stated, right? We've just talked about. But he states unapologetic, unfiltered, alive in its knowing. Because She is the I am, the rawness of who we become, the new beginning. And Libra responds, we are. But are we true? This is the axis that we're talking about in this full moon, self and other. One of my favorites. Not easy. There can be a lot of triggers here because we're one triggering the other. This is triggering this. But that again is food for the soul. If we can manage it, if we gather support, if we're conscious, if we're mindful, this is where growth begins. One step at a time, my mantra, as I always say. So independence and partnership, assertion and compromise. Independence, meaning Aries, partnership, meaning Libra, assertion, Aries, compromise, Libra. Beautiful, I love it. And under this full moon, they are not in conflict. They are in conversation. But let's be honest. Some of us have been speaking in half-truths. I know I've been there. And with a moon in Libra, I've been there. Let me tell you, I've had to work hard. And those half-truths for me are about, okay, you know what? I'm going to go with the flow in order to please. I don't want to rock the boat. I just want to go, smoothly because I don't want to deal with that. I've had to learn that because if we don't, our authenticity becomes covered and we can't find the space in between. So for that, it's like an example, saying yes when the body whispered no. Oh boy. And I'm such a body person. So for me, that was always, I got to take a trip to get a massage, or I got to get myself back in alignment, which is okay. It's all okay. It's learning. Smiling in agreement while resentment quietly keeps score. Yeah, I know. Calling it harmony when it was actually avoidance. These are all truths. These are the points of balance, of recognition, of transformation and growth in consciousness. All good. One doesn't feel great. One feels a little bit more inviting and more compromising and more loving, worthy. This moon doesn't shame that, though. That's really important. The moon does not shame. It is only illuminating what is in order for one to grow within the relationship of self and other. Individually and collectively, we have a lot going on. And we're feeling that. And it's good to be mindful. What's mine? What's not? Right? Because clarity isn't here to punish you. Right? And what I mean by that, so when you're clear of something, oh my God, oh no, I feel shameful. Oh no, why did I do that? No. It's here to free you. I say that to myself wholeheartedly, deeply. There's a tension in the sky too with this full moon, and that is Jupiter and Cancer are squaring the moon. So that's going to amplify Jupiter, which expands, Cancer, our emotions, our safety, our privacy, our lineage, our ancestry. Where do we come from? Where are we going? So this moon is not just rising, it's expanding a little bit more. So what you've been feeling quietly may now feel undeniable. The difference between codependency, this is very important. The difference between codependency and interdependence grows really loud. Codependency causes you to abandon yourself, abandon what you believe in, what you value, your self-worth. And interdependence maintains true connection through heart. This moon is ruled by Venus, heart, love, giving and receiving. And a connection is the point between two places, two thoughts, two feelings, the balance between, even if it only lasts for a moment. The later invites you to remain rooted in yourself, interdependence. You become rooted in yourself, and you can feel that difference. Right now, feel your feet on the floor. Feel your body, feel your heart as much as you can. This is where the work is. Not in choosing self over others or others over self, but in choosing truth within both. Where Libra lives in your chart, if you know, and it's okay if you don't because you'll still feel, there's a quiet questioning unfolding. Where have I been negotiating my authenticity for approval? Well, my moon lies in the 10th house. So I've been negotiating a lot of my life. I'm older now. Negotiating what I do, how I do it through approval. And now I'm more conscious and more aware of the authenticity behind the negotiating. And that's a journey. That's part of the growth. There's nothing shameful, nothing negative about it. It's where wellness coaching comes into the astrology and bridges the gap between the higher self and the lower self. We need both in order to truly grow. So where have you want to ask yourself, where have I confused being liked with being aligned? Aligned is you're aligned with your soul self, who you are, who you want to become, who you're learning to be. Not because you want to be liked or you want everything to be approved, but you want to be real as much as you can. And more importantly, what am I ready to release? So within this conversation that we're having today, what are you ready to release? Small or large? And I always say that as a wellness coach, as an astrologer. Nothing has to be rushed, especially with Aries. You don't want to rush. You don't want to be impatient. You want to try to gather momentum in a way that supports you. Because full moons really are about endings. They are oh my God, I can't say it. They accumulate what we're feeling and what we need to release. They are emotional. Oh, I like this too. As I'm going to say this, they are emotional exhales. Right there together as a community. Let's take a breath in. Even raise your hands to open up your heart a little bit more if you feel comfortable doing that. And exhale. Bring your hands down if your hands are up. Let them come towards the body, grounding you. So this could be your permission to stop overextending grace where boundaries are required. Don't overextend yourself. We've all done that. I've done that. But Libra does have to have boundaries because sometimes those boundaries become a little not stable. Okay, it's an air sign, so not stable because of wanting approval, because of wanting to make everything balanced, even if I'm the one, you're the one that's not balanced, but the other is. To stop performing peace instead of embodying it. What does that feel like, to embody peace? To trust that saying no does not make you unlovable. It makes you honest. And honesty is the most intimate offering there is. Balance isn't something you beg for from the outside world. It's something you cultivate within, a steady center, an alignment that doesn't collapse when someone disagrees, pulls away, or doesn't meet you where you stand. Inner equilibrium. That's the real Libra mastery. The high consciousness or version of Libra as it integrates the shadow, the medicine, the compost, to be able to filter all of it out into a place where there is mastery of relationship, of self to other. So let this full moon show you not just where things are out of balance and where you've been abandoning yourself to maintain the illusion of it. Let it be a turning point, a reclamation, a quiet, powerful return to your own axis of Libra and Aries, whether it's in the chart or in your body, or both, preferably, where you can stand in your truth and still choose love, self-worth, and the notion of giving and receiving, but not at the expense of yourself. Libra likes to do that. I'm going to meet your needs, but my needs, it's okay. I'm okay. Don't worry. No, we need both to create a dance. And maybe that's the real revelation of this full moon, this reclaiming of self through others, others through self, the mirror. You were never meant to disappear inside connection with another. You were meant to meet it fully as you are. Easier said than done. And that's why we're here, to learn that, to make a better world, to understand connection or what is real connection. It's an ongoing practice between breath, between movement, between emotions, between the stories we tell ourselves and the stories that we create that are more lovable, more healthy, and give us more opportunities to embody truth, embody self-worth, and embody independence, not dependence, independence, so we can truly be there for another. And then hopefully we attract the other that can truly be there for us. So I leave you today with that thought. The thought of how we mirror self and other and self. And as you feel, look, experience this full moon in Libra on April 1st. Again, 5 days before, 5 days after. My blessing for you is to just take a breath in, find where that space is, that in-between space where you can gather knowing, maybe an epiphany, maybe a moment of, wow, can I try that? Can I walk with that for a moment in time? It takes, again, I'll say it, practice. It is a practice every day. It just doesn't come out of the blue. But that's why we're here. To not only be with ourselves, but to be with others. In community, in support, and in kindness. And I leave you with those thoughts today. So I'm wishing you a beautiful full moon in Libra, and I will talk to you soon. Have a great night or day wherever you are in the world.